also weighed in on the name, something about her and Schwartz and Sandy's. And here we are.
I think a sober bar is a wonderful concept, but I think it is a very hard concept. They're not gonna serve any alcohol at all?
No, and that, I mean, no. And that was my thing. Now, I do have to, because everyone thinks I have my Hampton stories. Even Melissa Rivers called me out the other day for on air for being that girl that talks about Hamptons all the time. But I don't know where you want me to say I am. But in my building in LA, I have a friend, Polly. Shout out to Polly. And when we go out to eat in a group, she brings a bottle of wine. Now, I'm not in favor of this. I don't support it. But she is a more seasoned woman. And she, because my friends range from very young to very old, she brings the non alcoholic wine with her in her purse and pours herself some under the table and sits at the restaurant. It's a whole thing. We have to order a glass of wine. So then there's two wine glasses. So then when she does it, no one says, where did that wine come from? And she's like, there's no restaurants in fucking LA that offer non-alcoholic wine. I do not want non-alcoholic beer or a mocktail. I want non-alcoholic wine. So I agree with you. I think the need is there. I have many friends that are sober. You and I were sober curious for a minute. Being sober is not for me in any way, shape, or form, but there are real people that have gone through treatment that are sober. So
Like to do
would
it.
something like this work? I think it's a great idea. I do like the idea of like a mixed place, but I guess that defeats the whole purpose now, doesn't it?
Ye I guess. Although, to me, it's like I feel like you have to I don't know. All those men and women, including Katie and Ariana, are in the food industry or have been in some capacity. They know far more than I do. My gut says you need to have something else. Like, is this uh, are you doing yoga or it's kind of like a mind retreat place and then we're offering sober cocktails? I don't know. But then again, to your point, maybe
If you
it's
and I
allowed.
didn't drink and we want now, granted, I wouldn't go to Brooklyn. I mean, I live on Central Park South, but eh, are people going to travel all over the city to go? But if it's a neighborhood bar, so it's like if it's like you're in your hood and you have to be
So
sober and you have to want someone else to be sober. I don't know. I don't know.
I
But
know.
I do think there's a need for it. I do because of this friend of mine. And she really was like, restaurants need to have this here. And it's just, I don't know. But
Is he
I
gonna
hope it
host, like, NA and AA meetings? Because 'Cause that'd be a good draw. The AA and NA community are awesome. They, like, show up. So if he was gonna do that, I don't know, though. I mean, I think a lot of alcoholics don't even like to be, like I don't think they like to be having, like, a mocktail because I think it just can trigger you thinking that drinking again is a good idea. I don't know. You know what? I would support this. I love it. I really would like to be sober. It's just I really love the taste of alcohol.
I
But
can't. I'm
I'm proud of
sorry.
myself. I'm down to, like, 2 drinks a week, so I'm really proud. Sometimes 3, but
I'm down to, yeah, I only drink when I go out. So I mean, it depends on how many. Well, no, I'm some nights I'm home, girl, so I don't drink all the time. But if I'm out 7 nights, yeah, I mean, I'm drinking 7 nights. But my point is, Carl doesn't really have any experience in the restaurant industry. Someone else is opening a bar. A good friend of mine, and I'm being sarcastic, Miss Gunvalson, and that won't get in. She's in a little bit of a legal issue here,
what?
but Miss Gunvalson is opening a bar in Mexico called Whoop It Up. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
There
Is
it
she
is.
or is she just putting her name and likeness to this? There has to be that's a tremendous amount of work. She must be licensing her name and stuff to it.
I hope so, girl, because when you're not there, because first of all, what do you know about this running a bar? It's a really hard business. I mean, second of all, I mean, you do have a place there. Sure, she has a place there, but you're not there all the time. So you better hold on to, you mean to tell me people ain't going to skim the drawer, skim off the top and skim over here? You better know who you're getting into business with. I mean, everyone wants to go into a business and it's not. I don't recommend it to everyone. It's like, you know, I love Shark Tank, like when you have an idea, but these other businesses, just be careful, Like, yeah, we all want to make more money and we get bored, but I'm very risk averse with those type of things, even though I'm an entrepreneur. My businesses have always had very little overhead.
Yeah, you're good. You are, but you are a person with good business sense, but it's really what you can handle. Some people's minds though are just so i-
It's not for
entrepreneurial.
everyone.
But you have that mind. You really do. So I don't know. I guess look, Vicky's a heck of a businesswoman. This lawsuit we'll probably get into even more, but she is being sued for elderly financial abuse by a woman who
Yeah.
alleges that Vicky got her this insane insurance policy. She was paying, I think, $100,000 a year at one point for the premiums. I mean, that's wild. Now, I need to go back and read the story because I was confused the way the blogs put it out that did this woman have a life insurance policy on the husband? He died. Then Vicky got her another one. The premiums were insane. Plus, this woman was investing with Vicky, went into an annuity investment that Vicky had said, and basically it made no money. But then Vicky was like, okay, time for you to cash that out so you can pay for the insurance premiums. And she's like, wait a minute, you know,
I've
I'm
been
supposed
putting
to have
this much
money.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
very,
then she called. I mean, and it is a very confusing lawsuit. I agree. And then she said she called one of the places and said, like, finally said, didn't tell Vicky she was calling on her own. And she was like, oh, I owe another $300,000 to the or whatever. And they were like, you don't owe money for like 5 years. Like, you're so overpaid for this. Like, whatever she was paying Vicky was telling her, according to this lawsuit, when she called directly and said, I'm panicked, like I owe more money, they were like, not only do you not owe more money, like you don't owe more money for the next 3 years. Like if it's 100 grand a year for the next 3 years, you're already overpaid by like 300 grand, say. Like you're so overpaid, you're in panic. You actually don't have to look at us for 3 years. You're
what?
good. And she was like, what? And apparently Vicky like she didn't want to invest or she was ignoring her and she put on a hard sales pitch. Again, we're really oversimplifying. There's a lot of things in this lawsuit that I read that I'm like, I'm confused. If I slowed it down, I could understand it, but I just don't really know if I cared at the moment. But Miss Gunvalson was who I told you, I mean, it's a whole story that Anna and I on the Bravo Bench, my new podcast with
Huh.
Ace Fanning and Anna Concusses, much different than Behind the Velvet Rope, just once a week. Our third partner. This is Anna. I was in with Anna very early on, but I cannot take credit. This is Anna's brainchild. And we went through all the housewives that we can do this with, and we had a list and we had a short list. One day we could reveal who else was on the list. But Vicky was kind of in a roundabout way, like the final choice that we were going ahead with for a